Hey y'all, what's happening? What's happening? Robert Kennedy the third here, RK3. That's me. Are you tired yet? Are you tired? Are you tired? It's Thursday afternoon on the East Coast anyway. It's Thursday afternoon, and I just wanted to ask you the question. Are you tired? Are you feeling like you have gone through this entire week and you're just winding down to that place where, my gosh, you don't know if you're going to make it through the end of the week, right? And what if you felt like that at the beginning of the week? One of the questions that I get quite often is, my gosh, you've got this energy level and you sure you don't drink coffee? You sure you don't take some extra stuff? Right? I don't take it. My mom always talks to me about she's surprised at the energy that I have when I speak, and when she sees me out front doing something, she's a bit surprised at that. And one of the reasons that she's surprised at that is because I was quiet as a child. I was a little bit withdrawn. I would rather be in my room playing with trains as opposed to hanging out with friends or being in the middle of the action. That's kind of that Myers-Briggs. That's the introvert side of me, right? But there is also a reason why I project energy in most circumstances. And there are a couple of reasons, actually. One reason is because I want to be able to connect with people in that way. I want you to be energized around me, right? That's one reason. The other reason is that I'm literally excited about what I do. I love life. I love that I get to impact people in a certain way. I love that I get to connect with people in a certain way. I love that I get to just speak with and interact with people every day in a specific way. I count that a privilege. I count that a gift each day. And one of the things that people ask me in the midst of all of this is, man, when all of this stuff is happening with this quarantine, with everything that's happening, how do you stay focused? How do you remain motivated? How do you remain motivated, right? So I wanted to share a little bit of that today. 5 ways that I remain motivated during this time. I'm not going to put any overlays on screen or anything like that. But for those of you who have never connected with me on a live before, again, my name is Robert Kennedy III, RK3. I work with busy leaders, maybe like you, who have forgotten the value of their stories. Leaders who need to understand the techniques as well as the technologies that they need in order to storify as well as spreadify. I made that up. Their message, right? So that's who I am. That's who I work with. You want to get connected with me? Join us in the Storytellers Growth Lab, www.storytellersgrowthlab.com, and we'll work with you. We'll have conversations. We will help on the journey to spreading and learning more and owning your story. So I want to share with you the 5 things that I do to remain motivated daily, right? The 5 things that I do to remain motivated daily. If any of this resonates with you, go ahead and share with me a comment or a thought in the chat, okay? As a matter of fact, go ahead and do that so I can make sure that my chat is working. If you're on, I see quite a few of you on. If you are on and you're ready to hear the 5 things, say, tell me in the chat so I can see it and I can kind of put you on screen here, okay? Go ahead and do that. Go ahead. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to type tell me in the chat. Or if you're watching this for the first time, just say live, hashtag live. Or if you're watching this on replay, type hashtag replay. All right. So anyway, while you're doing that, let me get started. The first thing that I do to help me remain motivated is meditate. That's one of the things that I do. Am I good at meditation? Now, a lot of times people say, oh, I meditate and I woosah every day and I become centered and they present it in such a way and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to do that. I need to hire a meditation guru. Listen, I am not a meditation guru, nor am I an expert at meditation. What I do recognize is that you need to be able to have a place where you can separate yourself from all of the noise, from everything else that's going on. And so I get a little bit of help. One of the things that I use is an app called Balance, Balance, Balance. And that is an app where there's like 5-minute guided meditations. You can put them longer, 10 minutes, 15 minutes as well. And I use that. Most mornings, I will sit down and I will just go through. I'll put my headphones on and I'll go through just a guided moment of meditation, right? So that I can have some margin and separate myself from all of the other things and just keep my thoughts focused. Because here's what happens. Our thoughts, if we allow them, they'll control us and we'll fly all over the place because of that, right? And so what I want to be able to do is just get myself in this space where I can be grateful. I can be in a space of gratitude. I can just sense the things that are for me that day and not be distracted. So I'm able to remain motivated because I start out in a place of emptiness, or I start out in a place of gratitude. So that's one of the things that I do. All right. So if that resonated with you, go ahead and type yes in the chat for me. Go ahead and type yes in the chat. All right, cool. So that's number one. Number two, the second thing that I do to remain motivated is my environment. I make sure, all right, somebody said they like the Calm app. I'm not sure who that is. So if you like the Calm app, sets the tone for the day. Excellent. I like Calm. I've used Headspace as well. Good one. So here's the thing that I do with my environment. I'm going to share with you. I'm just going to kind of show you really quickly. I'm not going to get close up, right? But I'm in my office right now. And in my office, when I close my door, if you look at this, I've got some quotes, I've got some things there, and I'm not going to get close so you can see all my business, but I've got some quotes. I mean, one of the ones that I have that I absolutely love over there is Marianne Williamson's quote that says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." Right. So right below that, there is a picture. There's a child that I sponsor and there's a picture there. They've got some other things. I've got some Bible texts here. The green one at the top says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Then the one below that, and that says confidence right at the top of it, right? Then one below that, it says finance. It says, "The Lord will open for you his good storehouse, the heavens, to give rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. And you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow." Deuteronomy 28, verse 12. So those are, and I've got a gratitude text, I've got a faith text, I've got a generosity text, right? So those are some things. I've got my numbers for the year there, what I'm aspiring towards. I've got a sign. I don't know if you can see it up at the top. It says, "Good morning, millionaire," right? And so I've got these things that are close to me that really allow me to have a focus for my day. So Jojo is my nickname. All right, Jojo. Actually, let me put this on so that I can, let me get rid of this. Hold on one second. Let me get rid of this. We don't really need this right now. I just want to be able to see your comments a little bit better. All right, cool. So so I've got these things around me so that it really helps me to maintain a certain mindset as I approach each day, right? It really helps me to maintain a certain mindset as I approach each day. And so that's my number two thing that I use to be able to keep me motivated. Okay. So number one, meditation. Number two, environment. Number three thing that I use to keep me motivated daily is exercise. So here's the thing. When your body has toxins inside of it, when your body is not in optimal shape, when your body is craving physical activity, then it literally chemically clouds your ability to think and your ability to gain happiness, right? You don't get that oxytocin. You don't get the dopamine. You don't get those chemicals flowing through you enough. And so when you need to be able to be motivated, when you need to be happy, when you need to be energetic or passionate about something, you begin to lose that ability because you don't rid your body of some of the dirt. You don't rid your body of some of the toxicity, right? When you exercise and you sweat, you're not literally just leaking water. It's not just your fat crying, right? What is happening is that your body's been designed in such a way that it literally releases poisons, right? It releases poisons from your body so that you're able to then be in a mental and emotional place and physical place that allows you to be able to move forward effectively. Right? Now, I'm not saying that exercise is easy and that you got to be perfect at it. And if you don't exercise every day, that you're a slacker, right? That's not really what I'm saying, because I myself, I go through spurts. I go through moments where I don't exercise enough, or I do basic exercise and don't do the exertion exercises, right? Somebody said they're still working on number 3 consistently, right? Sometimes that happens, and we get into that place where we don't do that enough, and so we don't have that the mental capacity. We cloud ourselves. We literally clog our body up. And so if you're wondering why you feel tired, or you're wondering why you feel gloomy, if you're wondering why you're feeling kind of down, one of the things that can help get you up is getting out, getting fresh air, exercising regularly. One of the things that I've been doing recently as well, and this has helped me. One of the things I've struggled with is exercising by myself. That get up, go to the gym. Some people are just so motivated that they're like, woo, let me go to the gym, let me get my 1 hour workout in, and they do it, right? My wife she's motivated like that. She works out every day and she exercises. She exercises for like an hour, and she does that by herself without accountability partners, without anybody. I think that's amazing, right? It's not something that I have been successful with long term. So I find that I need some sort of accountability in order to keep an exercise program going. I've done things like starting Facebook groups where a bunch of people are exercising so that they can keep me accountable and I can keep them accountable, right? I've done things where I go to exercise classes with friends. One of the things that I'm doing right now, I'm doing this program and my kids are exercising with me, and that helps keep me accountable. That keeps me on track, and it keeps me on track, but it also accomplishes the purpose. It accomplishes the means that I'm after here, which is to do that exercise so that I can clear my mind. I can be physically, emotionally, physiologically at a place where I can remain motivated, right? And so it's not the motivation that comes from exercising or that comes because of exercising. It's the motivation that comes as you do it, okay? So some people feel like, oh, I've got to be motivated to exercise. It's motivation doesn't happen before you do something. As a matter of fact, if we're going to get real technical and philosophical and scholarly, the word motivation comes from the Greek word motus, or the Latin motus, M-O-T-U-S, which means to move or in motion. So the motivation doesn't happen until you're actually doing it. So if you want to be motivated, move, step, take action, right? That's how the motivation to move forward takes place, right? So that's number 3. Number four, the number 4 thing that I do to remain motivated daily is learn something new. Learn something new. A lot of us go through each day and we have these, we have the same routines, the same activities that we do, and our minds literally fall into a rut, right? Our minds literally fall into a rut. Here's what happens. If you think about it this way, I remember one day I was driving, it was a winter, and I was driving and there was snow. And if you've ever driven through snow, you notice that there are some tracks that form because of your car tires. Now, the more that cars drive through those same tracks, what happens is the edges of those tire tracks become harder and they become frozen. And so it becomes harder to get out of the track of that tire, right? It becomes harder to get out of the car tire tracks, right? You try to get out your car tires, you feel it, it's wobbly, it starts to slow down a little bit. And as a matter of fact, the more that you do that, you have actually less traction because you're in those grooves that have been formed, right? And it's the same with your brain, because if you maintain the same exact action over a prolonged period of time, it becomes harder for you to get outside of that. Okay. And here's what happens. When you're inside of that, it becomes so easy for you to slide down that path, and it's harder for you to stop, and you don't really do anything different. You're just operating on autopilot because you're in that same track all the time. So if you were to use the same example, if I want even better traction after a little while, I've got to get out of that formed path and get onto some fresh snow so that I can create a new track or a new path. So here's what I do daily. I look to learn something new. Is there something that I can, not necessarily master, but some new bit of information, something that I can try? Is there a new website? Is there a new piece of technology? Is there something new? Is there a new book? Is there something that I can look at that really helps me to just take in a new bit of information? I want to learn something new daily, and that also causes my mind to continually be stretching. That's one of the reasons I read. That's one of the reasons I read books, because it helps me to learn something new daily. It helps me to take in some new information daily. It helps me to stretch daily, right? So that's the number 4 way that I stay motivated. The number 5 way that I stay motivated is people, right? So I'll go back through them. Number 1, meditation. Number 2, environment. Number 3, exercise. Number 4, learn something new. Number 5, people. How do you stay motivated? Jim Rohn is known for saying that you're the average of the 5 people that you connect with most often. So the question is, are the people around you, are the people in your circle driven? Are they people that are inspirers or inspirational? Are they people that, and check this word, are they people who are aspirational? People who you can aspire to be like, or to be around, or to who aspire to accomplish certain things, so that you don't end up staying in the same spot, in the same space, right? If you're friends, if you're around people all the time and you find that they don't aspire to better, you find that they're not working actively on goals to help them grow, right? And I'm not talking about just, oh, let me do this little bit. I'm talking about big things, right? Big steps. I don't want to be at this same level this time next year. They're like, boom, I want to do something so much greater. My mind is really thinking big. I'm seeing things from the mountaintop. I'm seeing things from a bird's eye level, from 30,000 feet above. That's kind of what I'm seeing. That's what I'm envisioning. That's what I'm pushing towards. If those are not the friends that you're hanging out with, or the people that you're hanging out with regularly enough, then again, what's the thing? Water flows to the lowest point, or something of that nature. I don't remember what the quote is specifically, but if you're here, right, and the friends or the people that you hang with consistently are here, then eventually, here's what happens: they start to come up a little bit, but this is what happens. This is what happens, right? So you really want to, if you want to be motivated, is your circle one that's consistently aspiring higher? Is your circle, is the group of people that you converse with, I was about to say conversate, and that's not a real word. I hate when people say that. Is the group of people that you converse with, is a group of people that you connect with regularly a group that is going to inspire you to go higher? Right? And so you've got to be honest. You've got to look at that, and you've got to think about yourself and what you want. And if you are ready, if you really want people to, if you want to be motivated, then put yourself in a space where, because we're not all perfect, right? We all have these days. We've got these moments where we have bad days. We have bad days. Right? And so when you're at that moment where you are having a bad day, are you in a space? Are you in an environment that will allow you to be lifted up? Are you in an environment that is going to pick you up and not allow you to stay in stagnation or in status quo? Right? And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to share that with you because it's not only what I use, or those aren't only things that I do, but I like to share them with people because I want to see people be motivated as well. I want to see people transform as well. That's one of the goals that I have. I want when people are around me, I want them to feel like they can do amazing things as well. Right. And so that's why I share what I share with you today. I'm going to get off of here. But before I go, I want to invite you to do a couple of things. You want to have more conversations like these? Join me in the Storytellers Growth Lab on Facebook, or you can go to storytellersgrowthlab.com. It'll lead you right to our community, right to our group. In that group, we have challenges, we have conversations, we do things regularly every week that really are intended and designed to help you take ownership of your story and then begin to share it in a confident way so that you can transform the lives of somebody else and maybe your life as well. All right, that's all I've got to share for today. I'm going to get on out of here. But before I get on out of here, you know I like to play a little bit of music. All right.